What's going on, y'all? Sean Harness here, popping in for another video. Hey, look, I was thinking about how blessed I am the other day. Any of y'all ever think about that? Like, man, if I look over the course of, my career, thriving in my career, my personal finances, things are going much better than they have ever been. Like, amazing. In the next couple of months, I'm getting ready to marry my best friend. Like, wow. And then if I'm thinking about my health, man, this is the healthiest I have ever been in my entire life. So a lot of people ask me, and I get this question a lot from people. How do I stay motivated for a lot of the things that have come about in my life? I like to start with first the idea that I manifested everything that I have right now. With that manifestation comes a lot of hard work. Today I want to talk to you guys about some of the things that I do in order to stay motivated to manifest all of those amazing things that we all want in our life in some regard, right? What's going on, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hey, look, for those of you who are new, welcome. Brief introduction. My name is Sean Harness. Professionally, I am an engineer, also a business strategist, where I have built and managed several multi-million-dollar businesses in the Fortune 500s of companies, right? So my channel goal is to help you secure the wealth you deserve in your everyday life. So my goal is to help you get increase in your life as it relates to your finances. But I tend to think about that mentally, physically, and also financially, right? So on this channel, we're going to have discussions talking about business. We're going to talk about career. We're going to talk about personal finance and also lifestyle. Before we get started, let me remind you, if you find value in this video, be sure to hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button so you know when I get ready to post a new video. So guys, jumping right in, I get this question a lot. How do I stay motivated? So one of the most powerful ways I stay motivated is I honestly go back and I understand my why. My why of, look, I grew up poor and I ain't never going back there again, right? So I tend to think about how I was in my past and how I grew up in the hood. Like, my mother raised me on $25,000 a year. Have no idea how she did that, but something that she did. And back then, I didn't really have a lot of resources. Fast forward though, had an opportunity to be exposed to some very good institutions from an education perspective, been exposed to some great mentors and also some really good experiences. So today I want to give you a few tips of how I tend to stay motivated in my life. Right. So the first and probably the most important, you have to remember that you are worthy, right? When I tend to think about just being worthy, like that's such a deep topic. I feel like because there's a lot of us who want something but just don't feel like we deserve to have that. So to be transparent with you, let me just let you in and talk to you guys about some of the areas that in my life I felt that were areas that people told me that they felt like I wasn't worthy. So first, start with love. I always knew in my heart that I would find that person that was going to be the person that I would one day marry. And here we are. Fast forward a couple of months, me and the wifey, we walking down the aisle and we get married. So another area was my career. Having grown up in inner city Detroit as a young black man approaching a career, a lot of people who are not used to being in a space with a young black man from the inner city tend to look at a person with that type of culture and that type of upbringing in a certain way, in a certain type of way. That's not always positive, right? And so that's a lot of what I got as I entered into my career initially. I felt like there was a lot of negative energy. Man, when I tell you this, it's something that I decided to do, and I learned this from my mentors. So 3 areas that I focus on my career, right? I focus on my image, I focus on perception, and also I focused on performance. So focusing on those 3 areas, I noticed that a lot of that negative stigma kind of went out the door. So another area, not giving up and truly understanding rejection. So I think this one is also truly important Because if I think about some of the things that are very difficult, if I'm thinking about my health, right? Very difficult to lose weight. People really underestimate how difficult it is to lose weight. And sometimes, honestly, when I think about, man, I'm not 100% always on it when it comes to the fitness piece like I would like to. I mean, I work out just about every day. I tend to eat relatively healthy. Like I know kind of what to eat, when to eat it. But, you know, sometimes it's just like it's difficult for you to stay on it. Sometimes you're not gonna always be 100% perfect. However, striving for excellence, right? But not striving for perfection. We're just striving for excellence. That's where the motivation comes in. The other piece is, I would say, with personal finances. However, when I began to climb the corporate ladder, I started to learn a few golden nuggets, and let me let you in on a couple that I learned. So when I think about personal finance, I like to put them in a few buckets. The first one is reducing your expenses. So there's only a certain level of your expenses that you're going to be able to reduce. Another one is going to be increasing your revenue. That's going to come in with your career. So finding unique ways to climb the corporate ladder, being either, like I like to call it, either a career enhancer or a career switcher. Those things a lot of times honestly bring more revenue to your bank account. So another way to stay motivated is understanding your destination. Reaching a destination is more important than the vehicle you use to get there. Give you an example. When I started school, I was very much interested in entrepreneurship. Like I was dead set on being an entrepreneur. Now, granted, I didn't start off as an entrepreneur. I started off in corporate America. I would say in my career over the past, probably the last 10 years, I've learned a lot of skill sets that can very easily and readily put me into the entrepreneurial world. Moral of the story here, just because I did not start off as an entrepreneur, it doesn't mean that I can't finish as a successful entrepreneur. So another area that keeps me on track to achieving my goal is planning. Proper planning. Again, to manifest where I am now, I really had to sit down and think about where I wanted to be. And I was very, very descriptive and very specific about where I wanted to be. I wanted to travel, right? I wanted to be able to drive a certain type of car. I wanted to live a certain type of lifestyle. I wanted to live in a certain neighborhood. I also thought about how much access to my free time that I wanted. That's one that I feel like a lot of people don't really think about. A lot of the best plans have to do with where you spend a majority of your time. Then what I had to do is work backwards and think about the steps that I need to take in order to get to that place of essentially where I am now. Because I didn't grow up with a rich family. So it made more sense for me to go to college. Going to college, focusing there, majoring in certain majors, and coming out, working for a company, doing well there, saving up money, getting skill sets that was able to, as I like to call, stair-step goals. My value for what I could demand at the table when it came to money kind of did like this, you know, kind of just went out. So another way I stay motivated is honestly eliminating distractions. There's a lot of noise in the world. I'm sure you're aware, right? There's a lot of things that can distract you, from the internet to social media to honestly just being around and spending too much time with the wrong people. Growing up, I realized that as I was working on a lot of my goals, especially, like I said, being an engineer in my 20s, there were a lot of people trying to pull me down or make me feel bad about that. Just because you tend to kind of duck down and do your work or focus on something that other people really don't understand, you're not being selfish because you can't go to brunch or you can't meet these people out on the weekend at the club. Like, you'll have time for that. Being more focused on my goals has allowed me to continue to build my professional toolbox of those skill sets that I was talking about. Also, from a mental perspective, I'm not sitting around wasting time with people that I probably don't even want to be hanging out with in the first place. So another place that I think is very important is honestly very underrated, taking time to regenerate and really just shut down so that you can regain your energy levels, right? guys, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. Hey, look, if you found value in this video, be sure to hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button so you know when I post a new video. Until then, peace y'all, we out.